Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am covering the Moscow, Idaho Bryan Kohberger case. What about the 911 call? The 911 call made at the Moscow, Idaho home where these stabbings occurred, November 13th, 2022. That 11:58 a.m. 911 call. Why hasn't it been released yet? Media is challenging Whitcom 911, which is the center that took the 911 call, into releasing the 911 call tape. But they haven't released it yet. Are they trying to hide something? There is a gag order in the case, and Whitcom is not releasing the 911 call because of a gag order. But I want to share with you the lawsuit that was filed to get Whitcom to... Whitcom wants clarification whether they should release it or not. They might want to release it, but they're seeking clarification with the courts. Check it out. Whitcom 911's prayer for judgment. Wherefore, Whitcom 911 prays for the judgment as follows. For judgment declaring the rights, responsibilities, and duties of the parties, including whether Whitcom 911 must disclose the 911 call made from the 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022 as requested by the defendants, and for such order and further relief as may be just, equitable, and permitted by law. And Whitcom got a law firm, Witherspoon, Bradjick, and McPhee, PLLC, to challenge and get clarification whether they should release the 911 call or not. Do you think it should be released? The 911 call. Let me give you some information about Whitcom, right? Because I was like, who are these people? And the director, her name is Wendy, who runs Whitcom. She actually spoke to the media, but it provides some insight about the operations of Whitcom and how they work. Check it out.
Have to stay calm to help the caller stay as calm as possible, because it's, possibly the worst possible day of their life.
Located in Pullman,
we dispatch for 2 states,
the headquarters of Whitcom,
2 universities,
the Regional 911 Dispatch Center.
It's about 75 agencies that we dispatch for.
A relatively small team with a huge task.
We have 13 fully trained dispatchers, 2 fully trained part-time dispatchers, 2 trainees.
Wendy Barrett, the executive director of Whitcom, says because of the wide area and many agencies that Whitcom covers, calm days can turn into controlled chaos in the blink of an eye.
It can go from 0 to 60 in a second.
But she takes extreme pride in her team for their poise and expertise in working what can often be a stressful job.
They're amazing. To see them in action when it's gone crazy, with whatever event is happening or multiple events, it's impressive. It is so impressive.
She says it's special to work in a job where you're impacting the community.
Every day we're making a difference, and we might not save a life every single day, but we certainly save lives.
Some aspects of the job can be tough to handle.
Not getting closure on calls sometimes can be hard for people, and we've had people quit during training. They have a hard time not getting closure.
But they'll sometimes hear of the impact they make. For instance, a Whitcom dispatcher recently walked local agencies through a CPR at the Pullman Moscow Regional Airport, and last they heard, that individual is still alive.
When we get stories like that, and when we hear outcomes like that, it just, it makes it all worthwhile. And that's so exciting to hear.
While Whitcom dispatchers often deal with serious situations, they'll sometimes also receive calls that give them a laugh later on.
They had a female call who was driving, and she said a police officer was following her, and she said she was committing multiple traffic offenses, and she was confused why he didn't pull her over.
Barrett says dispatchers are the first of the first responders, and right now she's looking for more heroes to join her team.
You have to be able to not freak out.
She says a good candidate will be a good multitasker, a quick typer, and ultimately a good teammate.
Working well in a team environment is really beneficial. I mean, it's an absolute must.
So do you think the 911 call should be released? Why hasn't it been released? Remember, There was controversy even at the 911 regarding the 911 call in regards to the person that was unresponsive. On the call, it said an unresponsive person, and people were trying to figure out what all that meant. Who made the 911 call? What was said? I think it would provide a lot of insight, and a lot of times in all these cases, 911 calls are released. But Whitcom saying because of a gag order, they want clarification from the courts. But even if there's a gag order, do you think the 911 call should at least be released? I feel it should be public information, but why hasn't it been released? Why? That is the question. What's your thoughts on this 911 call? I would love to read your comments, so I'll be watching. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. I hope they release it because I want to hear what was said, who called, hear background. I think it would provide a lot of insight about what happened during that tragedy during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned.